And we are live. We are recording. Hello.
Hello from the fire pit here.
Yes.
Just east of Toronto in Scarborough.
Oh man.
Slice of nature paradise.
Oh. I'm sure you'll have seen our tiny house in the woods video by now.
Yeah.
It is our final night here, so we thought we would shoot a little Q&A. Yeah. And I know we're dressed a bit ridiculous right now. I'm basically trying to cover every part of my body.
It's our mosquito wear.
It's mosquito wear. I also have a jacket in case they come near my arms.
I've got like a fishing shirt on, a breathable fishing shirt, and then I've got a cabin sleepwear.
Flannel.
Flannel,
yes.
Yeah.
And we've got a lovely fire going. We have our graham crackers, marshmallows, chocolate, so it's time for s'mores.
We still have half of that kit left.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, we asked you guys over Instagram to submit your questions. We've selected the most popular ones and we will be answering them. All the juicy gossip. All right, well, let's just dive right into it.
Well, yeah, and we gotta get a marshmallow going.
And start roasting as well.
Yeah.
So, number one, how do you make money?
Oh.
Shall I start?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna put this on the fire.
So honestly, we've been doing this travel thing probably for about 7 years now. Yeah. And over those 7 years, we have earned money in very different ways. First off, like our first year of travel, we had saved up money teaching English in Korea. So yeah, we had those savings, we weren't too stressed, and we were also trying to get our blogs going, our websites going, so they would start earning money. Later on, we also started doing some freelance writing. I was writing for Travel and Escape. We were both writing for Expedia.
So we started off actually more with our websites. And, we did start recording video when we were still living in Korea and our first trip, but it was at a very, how can I say, amateurish level. We had no idea what we were doing. We were editing on Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah.
We were using cameras that didn't have good audio quality back then. No external mic. Not even we weren't even at the camcorder stage at that point.
No. So, way before that.
Video was more of a hobby.
Yes, it wasn't making us any money, so we were just doing it for fun. And honestly, at the beginning, it was like awkward skits that we were filming in your apartment. It wasn't even travel related. Those have all been made private, by the way, so don't even bother going looking for that.
Don't unearth them, please.
So yeah, it's only in the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 years that YouTube has kind of become our main thing. Like, we really enjoy making videos. It also brings in money through YouTube AdSense. Sometimes we team up with tourism boards to make videos with them. And like, we also sell a lot of footage behind the scenes. So like, we'll sell our video footage for documentaries or music videos, just random stuff.
Yeah.
We've sold our photography. So really, it's like, we make money lots of different ways. Like, we have multiple income streams.
Multiple income streams
is the chocolate.
Yeah, maybe half of that.
Whoa!
That's a super s'more. Here we go.
Super s'more.
How about that?
Let's do
this. You want to have the first one? So I'll keep going. I'll keep explaining.
Sure.
So yeah, multiple income streams is really the key that allows us to do this full time. We have our personal blogs.
Oh yeah, those make money too.
Yeah, we have we have 3 YouTube channels. We have the English channel, the Spanish channel. I have an older channel. In the past, we had some more websites, which allowed us to earn money through advertising and display ads. Then it's occasionally working with brands, tourism boards, freelance writing, and that's what allows us to keep going. If we had all of our eggs in one basket, it would be very very difficult to make a go of this, because one thing we've learned is that these income streams are very, very volatile.
Especially during a pandemic, guys.
Yeah, so the key really, I think, to doing well in this industry is to come at it from multiple income sources, and to always be creating new ones. Some things succeed, some things fail, but it's I think it's good to experiment, right? Not everything you try is going to work out the way you hoped. Yeah.
But you always learn lessons from that you can take into your next project.
Massively. You learn more from your failures a lot of times than you do from your success.
Good point.
You really there's a lot of life lessons to be learned when something doesn't work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that is the long answer for how we make money, how we afford to travel and stay on the road.
Right.
On that point, I should also mention the reason we're able to be gone so much of the year is because we're not paying for an apartment back home. We don't have a car. Like, we're not paying for car insurance.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have a mobile plan, cable, none of those expenses. So what we would be spending in like normal life being in one place, we just spend it on accommodations and travel around the world.
That's one of the bigger myths, is that travel has to be expensive, and it doesn't. Like, we know people that have they've become nomadic. We're no longer nomadic ourselves, but some of our friends who are nomadic spend less money on the road than they do living at home. Usually it depends on where you come from in that situation.
Yeah, Europe and North America.
Yeah, like Canada, US, Australia, certain parts of maybe northern Western Europe. And if you're basing yourself in a country like Thailand or somewhere like that, you can easily be nomadic and be spending less money. Yeah.
All right, that was question number 1.
Yeah, marshmallow or s'more number 2.
S'more number 2.
Question number 2. S'more
Just in
number
time
2.
for question number 2. So as we prepare s'more number 2, the question is, do you see yourself doing this type of work for the rest of your life, or do you have other plans for the future? Well, can I start with this one too? I need to swallow the chocolate first. Oh my, that is so sugary. Wait a sec.
I'm glad you bought lots of water. Want to keep that in the middle?
Oh.
I'm gonna need some too. After mine.
Oh, that cheap chocolate. I think travel is always going to be a part of our lives just because it's our passion.
Yeah.
We really enjoy it. We love discovering new places and experiencing new cultures, new languages, new food. So that's always going to be in the picture. Video, we also have a lot of fun editing video. Like, even if we weren't making money with it, it's kind of like a hobby. We enjoy doing it.
I could say out of the 3 things that we do, writing, photography, video is my favorite.
Yeah.
And that's probably for you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, that's why we spend most of our time creating video.
So I will say that travel and making videos will always be a part of our lives in some capacity. But long term, yes, we do have other plans in the work. We have other exciting projects.
Yeah. Can't announce it at the moment, but
because there's a pandemic and everything has kind of been put on hold. But yeah, there's some projects that we've been dreaming up and kind of working on behind the scenes for a few years that maybe we'll be able to tell you about next year.
Yeah, I really hope so. So we want to be able to announce something when it's actually been started. That's what we'll say about that.
Yeah.
But in terms of this being our career, yeah, we feel we feel extremely fortunate to be able to do this as our jobs, because we used to do this as our hobby. Like, I used to save up all my money I earned overseas teaching English in Korea, and I would go travel until I ran out. And I did that a few times. So, I mean, travel truly was our passion. We met each other through our travel blogs. Oh, wow. And is this one mine?
It is.
And so that's what I've got to say before I eat this.
All right. Question number 3. Would you ever live in a different country? Would you like to answer that one?
Sure. Well, we have.
Yeah.
We used to live in South Korea for a while. Absolutely. I mean, to me, one of the greatest experiences you can have in your life is to go from the country you're from and spend time somewhere that's, especially if somewhere quite different from where you came from.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great opportunity. You'll learn more about yourself. You'll learn more about other cultures, languages, different, a great way to get different work experience and network.
And I will say, like, during the years that we were nomadic, we did do longer stints in certain cities where we got a taste of what it's like to live there.
Chiang Mai being one of those.
Chiang Mai and Berlin would be examples of places where we were like, oh, we like it here. Let's stick around for a while and kind of feel like a local, you know?
I remember we spent quite a bit of time in Hong Kong. And back, now our travel preferences have changed a little bit.
Yeah.
We started to prefer smaller places. We still like going to cities. But we were really into big cities for a while, and we were really enamored by Hong Kong, like 5 or 6 years ago. Well, actually, before we decided to go back to school in Canada, we explored.
We considered Hong Kong.
We explored doing the same degree program in Hong Kong, would have been a lot more expensive. The cost was what ended up.
Yeah. The deciding factor.
Yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
more than double or triple. We would have had to pay international student fees and things like that,
Yeah.
I believe, and that was the deal breaker. Another marshmallow.
Number 4. Do you have a 5-year plan, or do you live day by day, week by week, month by month?
Wow. Well, I could totally see why people would think we might live day by day. Like when you watch our videos on our channel, it probably just seems like we're just gallivanting and winging it. But we definitely do have long-term business and personal goals.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say definitely, yeah, we do have long-range plans, like 5-year plans. We also have 1-year plans, and we also have like monthly plans too.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like having goals keeps me motivated.
Right.
It's like, okay, this is what I want to accomplish. Let's start working towards it. So yeah, I'm definitely the kind of person who like sets goals, makes lists,
Yep.
keeps track of things, and yeah, I like progress.
There's definitely plans and goals. Although I would say 4 or 5 years ago we were winging it a bit more, for sure.
When we were backpacking,
Yeah.
I'd say year 1 and 2, we were winging it.
Yeah, and that was totally fun. Yeah. That
Yeah.
was totally fun.
Like, where do you want to go next? We're in
Yeah.
Malacca. What should we do? Should we hop on a ferry, hop on a train?
I remember that situation. We're like, are we going to Indonesia? Are we going to take a flight to Cambodia? Are we going to continue on to Singapore? Like we changed our mind probably like 3 times a day.
Yeah, we used to wing it a lot when we first started. But we also had fewer responsibilities.
Right. You'll also probably notice too that if you have been following our channel for several years, we don't gallivant around the world the way we used to. Like we tend to focus more on a particular region or country and go a little bit more in depth.
Yeah.
In the past, we were just here and there, like zigzagging all over the globe.
Yeah.
And yeah, we prefer to go a little more in depth now and to travel a bit slower. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's see. Next question. Do you want to have kids someday? Yes.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do want to have kids. I'd like 2. I think sometimes Sam wants 3.
I think 2's enough.
2's enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not popping one out this year or in the immediate future. I'm actually going to be an aunt in a matter of days. Maybe by the time this video goes up, I'll already be an aunt.
Yeah, that's so true. That's
How
so
do you
true.
say it in Canada?
Auntie. No, you can do it. I think
Audrey.
it's said both ways, to be honest.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for that. Maybe that'll give me some practice, right?
Yeah.
To meet the babe.
But nothing in the immediate future.
Yeah.
But
no.
it's a long-term plan.
Yeah, we have a few more ducks we want to get in order before we start making babies. Let's see, number 6. Was it love at first sight?
For her, definitely. She's like, here's my Romeo, right?
Oh my gosh, no.
I'm just kidding.
No, I will say Sam and I hit it off right away. Before we actually met in person, we did Skype.
Online.
We knew each other online because we were both bloggers. We were kind of like in the same circle. We had lots of mutual friends. So yeah, we had chatted, we had Skyped, and we got along really well. So it was like, yeah, let's meet up in Seoul, let's go hang out. It wasn't a date, it was just like, let's meet up with a fellow traveler and like swap stories.
That's so true. I remember even on the second time we met up, we met up with Mark Wiens.
Yeah. So it was the 3 of us hanging out having Korean food.
So that was way back when. We got along great right away. We were in Korea doing the same thing. We were teaching English. We both wanted to travel. It was just like not only did we like each other, but our goals aligned in life. And that was a big I think that was a big reason why we ended up getting
I think we started dating like a month after meeting in person.
Yeah.
The chocolate.
Oh.
Chocolat. Can't have a s'more without chocolate. Also, is it gooey enough?
No, this one actually needs to be cooked more.
Maybe let's cook it a bit longer.
Wow.
Which gives me time to look up the next question. 7. Most embarrassing travel moment in public.
Oh man, we have a lot.
You. You have-
I have more. Yeah, probably. That's probably true.
Which story do you want to tell?
Well,
Hong Kong?
I thought we could tell the Hong Kong. Why don't you start off the
Okay.
Hong Kong?
I'm sure we've
Set
shared
it
this
up.
story before. I feel like we have. But basically, Sam and I were in Hong Kong for the first time, and we were supposed to go have lunch with someone from the PR team from Discover Hong Kong, the tourism board, because they were going to give us some passes for some activities that we were planning to film for them. And they gave us an address, a time and an address. Let's meet here for dim sum. And we thought, cool. I looked at the address. This was a neighborhood that we had been in before, where they have a lot of little, like, you know, casual, hole in the wall dim sum places. So, like, we didn't really dress up. But especially you, like Sam was super cash.
So I think that the key point was that the only places we had ever had dim sum before were super casual. So we just assumed dim sum meant a real casual meal.
Yes. So we hopped in a taxi.
Yeah.
We weren't running late, but like it was raining, so we were going to arrive just in time. Like there wasn't any time to dilly-dally or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And as we start getting closer to the place and we start like going towards the building, we realized like, whoa, we are in a really fancy part of Hong Kong. Like we're in the tallest building right now. We're eating at a restaurant that's, I don't know, like
it was so,
50 stories up.
It was so fancy that there was gold-plated dim sum.
Yeah, there were gold flakes in our dim sum. And like the higher we went up in the building, the more people were like dressed up, walking around in suits.
So I'm dressed in flip-flops. I have casual shorts.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing a stretched t-shirt.
Yes.
Yes. And where most people are wearing like not just smart business but
designer,
elegant business suits.
Yeah.
And we get to the top of this restaurant and the what do you call it, the maitre d', like their jaw drop.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my gosh, like what is this guy doing?
But we had an appointment, so
Yeah.
we had someone to meet, so we had to go in. So they pull Sam aside with like a little bag and they're like, sir, there's a dress code here. Could you please go into the bathroom and change? And Sam goes in.
Yeah, they were nice enough to still allow us to eat there.
Yeah.
But I had to go in and change. And the funniest part is that I was given clothes that were probably for a guy that was about maybe at least 6 to 7 inches smaller than me.
Oh man.
And several waist sizes smaller than me.
Yeah.
I'll say that. So I come walking out of the bathroom. My pants almost look like shorts.
They were like above his ankle, like mid-calf.
I couldn't do up the belt buckle, obviously.
His pants were unzipped, and he's trying to cover it with his shirt.
I had this dress shirt that I was able to just cover over the pants. And I sat and had a meal in maybe one of the fanciest restaurants in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Wearing that.
I was trying so hard to keep a straight face, but it was just such a funny sight, and it was so embarrassing.
In all fairness, the person who met us handled it so well. They didn't make
she didn't even make a remark. Like it would have been nice if she said something like, "Oh, no worries," blah blah blah. But no, she didn't say anything. Played it cool. Totally ignored the fact that Sam was very much underdressed. And yeah, that was a learning lesson, because now I actually look up places when I know I'm supposed to meet someone for a business meeting.
Indeed.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. So next question is best birthday spent traveling. That's a very good question. The thing is,
we have been abroad a lot.
We have been, but I usually don't make a big deal out of my birthday. So like we'll go out for food and like I'll have a nice meal and I'm happy. But like we normally don't plan anything epic. Like we don't go stay in a fancy hotel or like book any like special activities. It's just another day in our lives with good food. So I've had really good Korean food in Paris for my birthday. And I'm usually in Fredericton visiting Sam's parents for my birthday.
These days,
almost every July. So we'll go out for food together there.
I just got a bit of marshmallow on my
Marshmallow on the pants.
Whoops.
All right. Whoopsies.
Oopsies.
Question 9. How many countries have you been to?
You know what's embarrassing is I don't think we know the exact number, but
I
it's somewhere
counted-
between 60 and 70, isn't it?
I counted last year, and I think we were at like 72 or 73. And
Wow.
I don't think it's gone up much since then.
We tacked on most of those countries in our first few years of traveling.
Yeah, probably the first 2 years when we ran around Southeast Asia, and then we ran around Europe by train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we're gonna naturally hit 100 someday. But it's not a personal goal. Like we're not racing towards it.
No.
To be honest, I'd rather spend like 3 months in India, traveling all the different states and regions, than I would necessarily going to like 15 countries in Europe over a summer.
Yeah.
I mean,
And you know
sometimes I'd
what?
rather go deeper in a place.
We're also country repeaters. Like
Yeah,
if we
big time.
really like a place, we'll keep going back and back and back
Yeah.
again to see more of the country.
Yeah.
So we're often not visiting new places just because we want to go deeper in a place that we really enjoyed.
Yeah. But for anyone who does want to hit 100 countries,
That's cool.
it's really cool.
Yeah.
And also, if you want to have a tip to do it faster, you can really rack up the countries in Europe more than any other part of the world.
Yeah.
Think
Small
of all the
countries.
city states and
Yeah.
yes, there's tons of opportunity
Okay.
to increase
Next
your
one.
total.
So this question could be interpreted two different ways. It says, "What's the one thing you miss most about normal life?" And I don't know if they mean like normal versus pandemic life or normal versus travel life and being on the road all year. So, how do you want to answer it?
Well, let's
Can I have water?
yeah. Let's answer it from the pandemic perspective.
Okay.
So, the biggest change for us has been obviously being grounded, not being able to travel, to have our income down considerably, this is the truth. And the other change is just not being able to make plans. But the biggest change, I think, has just been just sort of being able to embrace the uncertainty. I think we've had our moments where we felt annoyed or anxious about what's going on, but then we've also had moments where we've just felt a lot of gratitude. Like, yeah, we're in a safe place. We're still able to do our work from the basement. We've been able to get caught up on a lot of things. We've been able to focus a bit more on our health, doing healthy juicing, going for
Yeah.
daily exercise. So we have been trying to make the most of it. But we've definitely never faced anything like this before, and I'm
Yeah.
sure it's like that for almost everyone who's watching this.
Okay, next question. When do you think you'll feel safe to resume travel? So,
That's a great question.
to be honest, it's been more than 3.5 months
Yeah.
at this point since we started our little quarantine at home with my family.
Yeah.
So we do feel safe to slowly start getting out there. We are obviously starting first domestically
And rurally. Yeah.
So we're not venturing very far, and we're purposely seeking out destinations where it's just the two of us.
Right.
We're still continuing our isolation here in these tiny houses.
Yeah.
And for our activities, we're going hiking, enjoying the outdoors, we're cooking for ourselves. So we're kind of like limiting our contact and interactions with other people to like prevent the
Yeah,
spread.
we're choosing to do nature escapes, just as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And we'll start from there and see what happens as things open up. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, different countries, different regions within countries are experiencing the lockdown in a different manner. And so we're just monitoring things. And I think if we do travel this year, there's a very high chance it's going to be mostly domestic,
Yes.
mostly covering parts of Canada.
Yeah.
And that's actually quite exciting.
Honestly, yes. Like I
For
would be
us.
super pumped about seeing more of Canada just because
Yeah.
I haven't traveled in Canada a lot, and we have such beautiful landscapes that
Yeah.
I would love to get out there and see more of my own country.
Right,
So,
and also
yeah.
some interesting cities to visit too. So I mean,
Yeah.
we'll just play it by ear.
Yeah.
But most likely our next big trip, aside from these little weekend getaways, would be somewhere in Canada.
Yeah. So I think that is all the questions for today. We're actually at the 30-minute mark, so I think that's a pretty good length.
I don't know if the video will be exactly 30 minutes. We might cut it up a bit.
Might edit it down.
But yeah, on the screen we're seeing 30 minutes.
Yeah. So thank you for sending in your questions. If you have any additional ones, I would suggest you leave them in the comments below.
Yeah, we'll do this
that
again
way,
soon.
Yeah, we can do it again.
Please.
We'll choose the most frequently asked ones.
Yes. So whatever questions you ask, we'll go through, and that'll be for the part 2 of this.
Yeah. You know what you can do? Upvote the questions you want answered. So if you see them already in the comments,
Ooh.
thumbs up so
Yeah,
we know,
exactly.
okay,
That would be
that
great.
one needs to be answered.
Well, guys, thanks so much for watching, and we
Yes.
hope that you are able to travel again soon too, like we are. Consider these types of getaways. You know, something nearby, something out in nature. I think that's a good way to start. So
Yeah, and we're gonna keep enjoying our s'mores.
We are.
Toodles!
thanks, guys. Ciao.